Well, it happened. Jim Harbaugh goes to the Chargers. We weren't sure. We kept hearing speculation, rumor, sources close to, leaning towards, and then all of a sudden, boom, Harbaugh to the Chargers. It's a great move. And I, started to wonder, okay, how does this impact Justin Herbert right away? How does this impact the Chargers with the overall, placement of them in Los Angeles, where they fit in the sports hierarchy there? They're now relevant. They made the best hire they could possibly make. They could have brought in Pete Carroll. That would have helped you in the local market. Belichick, I guess you would have been relevant. But I get Jim Harbaugh. I get a great coach. I get energy, leverage that he brought in after leading Michigan to a national title, going back there. He's, what he did in San Diego. He played for the Chargers, and now at least you're curious about the Chargers a little bit more than you were. But I think Justin Herbert now is on the clock. Harbaugh is as well, but now it's Justin Herbert, and now we want to see, are you taking that next step up with some of these big boys there? We'll have a poll question coming up, probably on this, but if you're a Charger fan, I'm curious how you feel today, because I'd feel really good. We got the coach that we needed. You bring in somebody who is polarizing at times, but he's a great coach, and he's a great coach for quarterbacks. You look at where he was, University of San Diego, not San Diego State, University of San Diego, winner. Stanford, turned him around, winner. Niners, turned him around, winner. Michigan, took a little while, inherited a team that wasn't very good the previous season from Brady Hoke and made them national champs. He's a great coach. He wins wherever he goes. And his quarterbacks develop. Whether it's Andrew Luck, who was generational, Colin Kaepernick, a big surprise, J.J. McCarthy is going to be a first-round draft pick. He's really good. And I think the window, although the window will probably be a little tighter because it's Harbaugh, and we're going to expect a turnaround there. You got the 5th pick in the draft, and I'm guessing that in 2 years from now, probably 3, we're looking at Chargers as a Super Bowl contender. Maybe after 2 years. I think it's a lot to ask. Him coming in right away, and then all of a sudden, and, keep in mind, going to the AFC. If he went to the NFC, went to the Falcons, the road's a little bit easier. AFC in his own division, he's going to have to deal with the Kansas City Chiefs for a little while longer. Denver will get better. We saw that with Sean Payton. The Raiders, maybe they turn it around. But Jim got the quarterback that he wanted, the best quarterback available. If you're a coach, you got the best quarterback available. As for Michigan, probably promote from within. But if you're going to leave a place, that's about as good as you can leave a place. Now, in a couple of years from now, if we hear the NCAA is asking Michigan to vacate the national title, then maybe you'll have some hard feelings. But this is a good exit. National title, everything's pretty good. You've been dominating Ohio State. By the way, Ohio State is spending some money, folks. Spending some money. NIL, now it gets interesting. Ryan Day said, we got to spend $14 million. Last I was told they had spent $13 million. They got $1 million left. Hey, what do you want to go out and get? It's like going to get groceries. Sometimes you go out and you buy groceries, and then you'll see something. You go, you know what? I'm going to get some olives. Okay. Yeah, sure. Get some olives. That may be what Ohio State's doing. They're going down the grocery aisle going, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. Yeah. Well, yeah. I haven't had Triscuits in a while. Sure. Let me get those. But Jim Harbaugh, the impact, leaving college football, going back to the NFL, it's a lot of fun. Taking over the L.A. Chargers. All right. This first hour brought to you by the great folks in Las Vegas. We can't wait to get there and celebrate. It's a city where spectacle and celebration are woven into the fabric of that community, Las Vegas, where conventional is challenged, unexpected embraced, and it's not just celebrating, it's celebration with an edge. Jim Harbaugh was with us at the Super Bowl in San Francisco. This was February of 2016, and he was at Michigan at the time. And I asked him this question. Well, after he finished business at Michigan, now he's tending to the unfinished business in the NFL. And plus, this is 2016. So he's very careful. Like, you don't want to say, yep, I'm going to go back to the NFL. I got to get back and win a Super Bowl. But I think deep in his mind, he knew that eventually he was going to go back. And I think it was important for him to go back and prove that he could do it again and maybe win a Super Bowl. In case you're wondering, and I know you are, what are the odds for the Chargers to win the Super Bowl this next season? Yes, Paul.
I have a question. Are they in the top 10 now?
Well, they have the same odds. Guess the team that the Chargers have the same odds to win the Super Bowl. Seton?
The Dallas Cowboys.
No. I like the guess. Aggressive. Marvin?
Well, there's a few teams that would get a reaction of like, this is interesting. Guess the team.
Yeah.
How do the Cowboys factor into the Harbaugh decision?
Marvin?
The Broncos.
No. I like that too.
It's insulting to the Chargers.
Todd?
The Texans.
No. Paul?
The Jaguars.
The Falcons. The Chargers and the Falcons, and Harbaugh was going to, I think, have his second interview with the Falcons when he took the job. So the Chargers are plus 2,500 to win the Super Bowl. The same odds as the Falcons. They're actually behind the Jets. The Jets are plus 2,200 to win the Super Bowl.
Woo! Ow! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! This is the stat of the day!
And you can bring in your assistant coach who got a lot of reps if you're Michigan. Promote Sharon Moore. Odds to win the national championship. Georgia is your favorite. Who is second? This, according to DraftKings, odds to win the national championship next season. Marvin.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Okay. That's a miss. Ole Miss. Paulie.
Ohio State.
Ohio State. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Then, Todd.
I'm going to say LSU is going to make a shocking run.
No, they're in there. They're in the mix. They're in the top 5. Seton?
Georgia?
No, Georgia's number 1. Then Ohio State. Texas.
Oh, Texas.
Alabama, LSU. Oregon. And then Michigan. By the way, Alabama's new head coach, Kalen DeBoer, will join us coming up next hour. Also, Daniel Jeremiah, NFL Network. He is a Chargers broadcaster. He will join us. And the Lions, making available Jahmyr Gibbs. All right. Jahmyr Gibbs. Love watching him. Went to Georgia Tech, then transferred to Alabama. So just some of the news here going on. We mentioned Doc Rivers yesterday agreed to take over the Bucs job, and the Bucs, without Doc Rivers, beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Eagles held a press conference. Nick Sirianni is staying, but man, would I rent and not buy, because that was sometimes you'll see people, and the longer they speak, the worse it gets. And that's what happened yesterday. I'm going to play that for you coming up in a little bit. But Nick Sirianni got to the podium. Unlike when Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft got to the podium on what could have been an awkward exit interview. They stayed up there 9 minutes, and that was enough. So nobody could say anything that they were going to regret. Nothing stupid. And the Eagles, they had the owner, Jeffrey Lurie, and Nick Sirianni up there, and it got awkward there. It got awkward. So Michigan has a lot of candidates, but I would think that Sharon Moore will be named the head coach, and probably is going to be, since it's a public university, it needs to be posted for a week. I'm guessing probably by this time next week. And he's been there since 2018. He came there as a tight ends coach, and then he was co-offensive coordinator in 2021. And then when Harbaugh was out with his suspensions, he was the interim head coach for 6 games. So he's already undefeated in his coaching career. But beat Penn State, beat Ohio State, and Jim has spoken highly of him, of becoming a head coach. Whether he was going to stay at Michigan or not, you're going to be able to keep your recruits. That'll be important as well. But just understand what Ohio State is doing. They are spending money. I'm sure Michigan in as well. It's just Ohio State got a couple of players from Alabama. So that usually doesn't happen, that they leave Alabama. But if the price is right, there are some defensive backs, offensive linemen. There's a wide receiver. So they've done pretty well, at least owning the offseason.